Hey guys, it is November 30th, 2019. Time for a video. Um, well, this is going to be a vlog video of some interest to some of you. Um, today we're going to talk about the self-checkout line in a grocery store. Now, mind you, get comfortable in the chair here. Mind you, before I decided to do this video, I looked around on YouTube to see if there were other videos, and there's another video where a guy kind of hits the nail on the head, but I kind of want to take this and go viral with it. Hopefully it will. Maybe on my channel, this video might actually get 15 views. But anyway, so here we go. Let's talk. It's about 2 hours ago. I was in the grocery store. We stopped off to get some ice cream, and I had these little, they're about yay big, little Jello cup things that I snack on because I'm trying to lose weight. And so I had like 5 of them and a half-gallon of ice cream. And my mother was with me because she lives here. And we're looking at the self-checkout line, and we had noticed a sign when we walked in, something or another about forming a single file line in down aisle 1 for the self-checkout line. And we're looking at it, and I'm noticing people. I wouldn't normally make a stink if it was a bunch of people with just a few items, but these are people with carts. Call me crazy, but I thought the idea behind self-checkout was to be quick and efficient. You're coming from work. You have a few items you need for supper. You go in, you get them, you scan them, pay, you put it in a bag, you get your receipt, you leave. Fine. It works fairly well at Walmart. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they get their lines built up too. But, I've never actually had somebody come up to me and say, "Oh, will you get in line? Can you get in line, please?" And in fact, in the store today, I said, "F that," and walked away. Nobody talks to me like that. And we went and got in a normal line and went through, and we got through that normal line, and I noticed on my way out the people that would have been ahead of me in line at the self-checkout were still waiting because people in front of them had cartfuls of stuff. So that's one of my biggest pet peeves about self-checkout is the idiot that they normally put in charge at the grocery store I go to, letting cartloads come through. Now, in my particular experience, we were in there to do a full shopping about 2 weeks ago, and she actually this same girl had us come out of one of the normal lines, and she took us through and rang up an entire cartload full of groceries. We had about $120 to $130 worth of groceries and a Thanksgiving Day turkey in the cart, and she rang it up in the self-checkout line. I said, "Are you even allowed to do this?" "Oh yeah, I have codes." And it just it kind of cracks me up because while it was cool to get out of there pretty fast that day when we went in there 2 weeks ago, what about all the other people that needed those self-checkout things that maybe they needed to get out of there quickly? It was kind of unfair that she just let us go in there and rang up an entire cartload full of stuff. So when the person that's overseeing the self-checkout line doesn't operate them properly, or doesn't have a decent system in place, that kind of makes a problem for them. Also, I'm 39 years old, but I have a very good memory, and I remember a time, doesn't seem like that long ago, but I guess it was, when you would go into a grocery store that was, now mind you, this store we went to today, they don't even have an alcohol section, but there's 71,000 square feet. I remember when I was a kid, a grocery store was about, a big grocery store was like 40 or 42,000 square feet. You know, most of them average between 20 and 30,000 square feet in this area where I live. And the little one was 15,000. But you can still get everything you needed. And when you went into the checkout line, you had somebody to ring up your stuff. Then there was another person to bag your groceries. And then, you know, some places it's very rare, but they do this on the military base. If you want to pay extra for it, you know, they'll you know, you want to tip the guys or whatever, or guys or girls, they'll take your groceries out to your car for you. And apparently, you know, some of the older folks out there can attest to this. They did this back in the old days too. I don't really remember people taking stuff out to the car, but there was always a cashier, there was always a bagger. And all I really had to do was just lift the stuff into the cart. Because I always went grocery shopping with my parents, even when I was a kid, like, you know, 4, 5, 6 years old. I remember it. It's one of my favorite things to do, believe it or not, because I got to see what was coming into the house. But, you know, to see the quality come down, you know, you got this big giant building. And you know what? I guess at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is cut costs, and they know people are impatient. Like the guy said in the other video, I think he's absolutely right. They're just trying to cut costs, but, you know, at the end of the day, if you is it really worth saving a dime on a jar of spaghetti sauce if you gotta go through and do the work yourself? Because when you're operating one of those self-checkout things, you're actually doing the work yourself. And if that person that's overseeing that self-checkout line does, you know, if they're not a person that's going to look at everybody the same way, comes through there and approach everybody the same way, that opens another can of worms. So maybe, you know, these companies ought to think about maybe not operating in such a big building. You know, they could save money if they cut the size down to a normal size. This particular place I go to offers a home service where you can actually, they'll pay somebody, they have an employee, and that employee will go out in the store and shop for the person, complete their order, and then it's delivered to their house in a van. I think you pay a little extra, but they come right to your house. And so my thing is this, I mean, do I really need 15 different offerings of spaghetti? Or 15 or 20 different offerings of a certain cereal? You know, there's this one cereal, you know, and it's a special cereal, and it has this great big letter in the middle of the box. I'm not going to say what it is, you know, but it's a special cereal. And they have like 15 different types of it on the shelf, you know. But it is what it is, I guess. So, you know, maybe if, as we go towards the future and technology becomes more affordable, you know, maybe they might consider downsizing the size of their building and, you know, look at more at their offerings. And if you have a smaller building, you can afford to pay people to do stuff like you did in the old days. So those people like me that, you know, can still get around well, you know. So I choose to go into the grocery store. I don't have kids, so I can go to the grocery store and I can walk a grocery store and pick out what I want. You know, if you downsize the building because you know, that home service is made available to people that wish to utilize it, you don't need as big a building anymore. And you can actually have more cash registers with people working them, actual people. You know, you don't have to go into the grocery store and save a nickel, but then do on a jar of spaghetti sauce, but then have to do the frickin' work yourself when it comes time to get checked out, and then wait in this stupid single file line like you're in the army. That's ridiculous. So anyhow, yeah, hopefully this will change. I actually this particular grocery store has a Facebook page, and you can message them. So I sent a very lengthy and detailed message to these people, and if nothing else, hopefully they at least take a look at it and maybe think about making a change to their policy, because I'm not looking to get anybody in trouble, but at the same token, maybe that one employee who I spoke of, pulls us out of line and rings up an entire cart of groceries in one week, but then when we have a couple items and we could be done in a matter of seconds, we got to wait in a stupid single file line. So we walked away and went through the normal line, got rung up by a human being, talked to nicely, and we actually got done and got out of the store quicker than if we would have waited in that stupid single file line. So that self checkout line was completely defeating its purpose. You know, maybe if she did her job a little bit better and they looked at the way she was doing her job, things might change. But that's the video. You guys want to chime in on your thoughts about self checkout lines and you know how you think they work for you or any experience you may have? Feel free to do so. And if you like videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.